Oops. If I want to make sure that my chopstick doesn't slip, I can move my 2 fingers in here to provide like a buffer zone. Oops. It's sort of so tight it wants to push me off a little bit. Now I got it. And again, just letting him breathe into that. And you can see the pressure is not much at all. And then once that eases off, then I can move it like this slightly, and that brings him back up to a 9 in case he went too much below that. And then I can even just gently stimulate it like that, and he loves that. It's like a little amusement ride. What's that?
A whole new dimension to the phrase of giving him some stick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to again try and connect the dots a little bit, because you know how much he enjoys that. So just in here, shift this, but again quite gently, yeah. And then hold that spot. So, you know, oftentimes with somebody, when I'm really doing a treatment, I might just end up focusing on, you know, 3, 4, 5 fingers in one 2 or 3 hour session, because it takes a long time. But I do a really good job of those 2 or 3 fingers. But sometimes, you know, I might do the whole, and that's what I'm starting to think here, you know, because this is his dominant hand. Some of these are so tight, we're hitting his pain threshold right away. I may only get this hand done, you know. Depends how long I have, depends how long, you know, how long he's booked in for. But I can either do what I call a half-assed job. You guys, I guess that'd be half-assed, yeah? Half-assed, yeah. Or I can do half-assed. Oh, another click. There we go. That clicked in here, which is what I was looking for. And look at the movement now. Mm-hmm.
He's
Or
saying, I love that.
I guess the opposite of a full-ass job, you know? And it clicked again. So the whole thing is letting go now. The whole stubborn, and he could have had this finger tight for years. And especially when you're talking about, like, this is what I'm saying, if Dave's approaching 50, then he's got a lot of years of massaging and whatever, you know, whatever work he's been doing, you know. So much better to do this now than leave it till he's 80 or 75, right? Because then it's so painful, and the arthritis will have definitely set in by that stage. But this will prevent arthritis by keeping these joints nice and supple. And then not only that, but each time, if I used to then, you know, say take 20 hours to excavate Dave, maybe more, right? But let's just say we did that. Then when we maintain him, it won't be anywhere near as painful. It'll be easier on me. It'll be just, you know. So.
How many hours do you go for maintaining Like,
Oh, it depends how often they come. Like if somebody's got to come a long way, I might do only say a 2-hour treatment a month, right? But if they're close by, I might do 1 hour every 2 weeks, you know? You know, you got to take into account people, but it's just easy maintenance, yeah. But it depends on what the person's doing, how, you know, a massage therapist, say their hands are going to need an hour a week almost. If you're doing 20 hours of massaging, I'd say, you know, you're going to need a good hour just on your hands, you know. Maybe, it depends on the person, but to maintain optimal, I'm talking about optimal, which is complete looseness, which is what our goal is, right? To maintain that, but it depends on the person, you know. But you just see, so the thing to do is once you've got that person completely loose, then you might say, okay, come back in 2 weeks or come back in a month, and then you could book them in for an hour, right? Can you get them completely loose again in an hour? If so, great, let's move you on to a 1 hour a month maintenance program. If you go, oh no, they can't quite do that. You know, like if you're working on like a carpenter or somebody like that, and they're constantly using their hands, you know, a massage therapist, you might just need a couple hours a month, you know. If you're working on emergency services people who have just pulled dead bodies out of cars or something like that, the emotional, you know, impact of those sorts of things. Like so many, I don't know about here, but so many police in Australia are on like PTSD leave because of the things that they see. The same with soldiers and ambulance people, right? So they may need, they may have a quiet week, in which case nothing much, but they may have a particularly bad week, where they've seen a lot of trauma and they need more, So, yeah. But the best thing, like I said, so you play it by ear, it depends on who they are, and you figure it out. Okay, did I get everything out? If I've moved them into a maintenance program, was 1 hour a month enough? I think 1 hour a month in maintenance is the minimum. Most people in their life have enough, throw in a few kids or marriage or whatever, and business, owning your own business, So business people tend to be more stressed, parents tend to be more stressed. Massage therapists were absorbing energy from people, emergency services, but also people physically who are like carpenters and electricians and things like that. They'll tend to build it up pretty well. But again, it's the best investment in my opinion, it's the best investment you can ever make, because your body is more important than your house or your car or anything, right?
It's the only place you have to live.
What's that?
It's the only place you have to live.
Absolutely, until you give it up, yeah. And it's, and it's all, like I was saying on the phone, it's all about, the best things in life, and there's two of them, is to longevity, right? People want to live longer, crank it out as long as we can, but quality, right? Quality of life while you're inhabiting this body. Make it a good one. Because, it's like with certain, like if you're chronically suffering from headaches, if you're chronically suffering from aches and pains, often all you want to, some of the time all you want to do is die, Like I remember my great aunt, as she got into her 90s, she was quite a fit lady, but then she got into her 90s, she got bedridden in hospital, and every time everybody saw her, she said, oh, I fucking can't wait to die, So do we want that? No, if you introduce this form of massage on a regular basis, yes, it's going to cost people money. The excavation process might cost several £1,000s, right? If you're a qualified practitioner and you're charging a decent rate for what you do, then it might. It's the best few £1,000s investment they've ever made in their life. To be excavated is incredible. And then maintenance. Oh, what? You're spending what, £100 a month to achieve optimal health? Maybe £200 a month? I don't know. It's still, you'll earn more money in optimal health too. Because imagine if you just got headaches all the time. Are you going to earn a lot of money? No. Oh, I feel like shit today. Do I want to work? No. Even if you think about as a massage therapist, if you feel like shit, are people going to be attracted to your work? Yeah, I've had it where I remember going into Thailand in the airport and getting a massage, and the woman just complained about her back the whole time, and then had a lot of anger issues about Western men. My wife was ready to beat her up. It's like, don't treat my husband like that, because she was just taking her out. And so it's like you wouldn't go back and you'd give bad reviews, right? So in our profession, but like think about it even from other professions. If you're a basketball player and you're a top-end basketball player, do you want to be tight or do you want to be loose? I'm telling you, athletic performance is massively increased. I taught at the New Zealand Institute of Sport, where they have all the Olympic athletes, and I was working on this girl who was a javelin thrower. And literally I could go so hard on her, and she was so fit. And she actually, funnily enough, had almost no emotional residue. But she had tightness from throwing javelins, because that's what she did. She was Olympic. And after doing her shoulder, fixing her shoulder through doing her hand, so from throwing javelins, her athletic performance improved massively.
Have we got studies on this? Because this is a sort of thing we've got to be careful around here, is like making claims and being able to back it up. So I think that like things aren't preventing arthritis, or I just say help to prevent arthritis.
Well, the thing is because it's the partnership model of medicine, we got to be careful about making a claim, right? Because you could get a red light on there. You've got arthritis, and they don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
So are you going to help prevent arthritis? No.
But you're not making any claims about arthritis.
No.
You're making claims about removing the tension.
Removing tension. That's all we do. See, we don't treat disease as such. We treat tension, and tension causes disease. But not all diseases are caused by tension.
So stress and tension.
And we can, so that's what we do, right? Like I don't treat fibromyalgia, I treat tension. And if fibromyalgia, like in my opinion, is worsened by tension, but I wouldn't make the claim that we can cure fibromyalgia.
So you're not treating arthritic fingers, you're treating arthritic fingers that might have tension. And
The tension probably caused the
and if
arthritis,
you get rid of the tension, then there's a chance arthritis might feel better.
even though it will. Except for there's different types of arthritis, right? Osteoarthritis, rheumatoid. Rheumatoid arthritis can be dietary related. It can be allergic related. Osteoarthritis can almost always be helped, but it's a lot easier to prevent osteoarthritis than it is to take somebody who's got arthritis and fix them or get rid of it.
Like the food thing, because I had a lady with a dairy allergy, and I was like, I could feel like she's different from when I massage her floors. Like you feel really inflamed, your body feels inflamed. Do you have an allergy? She's like, yes, dairy, and I had 3 lattes yesterday. And I was like, well, next time you come see me, don't have milk before.
Yeah.
You see.
Because inflammation is a contraindication and it's going to make them more sensitive. So no, do we fix everything? No. We can fix anything that's caused by, if the person is a green light, then if their problems are caused by tension and energetic blockage, then high chance that we can fix or whatever. We can reduce the tension or get rid of the tension. Will that get rid of the problem? If it's caused by that, it will. But if it's caused by something else, like a food allergy or, cancer or whatever, then no, we can't necessarily fix that, It's like Dave was bringing up diabetes, Can we fix diabetes? No, but we could help with neuralgic pain, because diabetes is dietary,
Yeah.
But the other thing is, sorry, I'll just say one last thing. That was good. So I've moved on to this next finger, by the way, and I just got a great click out of that one. Remember the other one I was saying was tight? But the other thing is that tension acidifies the body. All right? So a lot of diseases are also caused by an acidic body. Okay? So when we get rid of tension, we alkalize the body. Okay? But does that mean that if a person's on a highly acidic diet, we're going to completely help them? No, because they're doing stuff to make them more acidic, So, but that's what getting rid of, tension definitely makes a person more acidic. Sorry, what was your question?
I was just going to say, you mentioned earlier that after a massage like this, you feel lighter
Yeah,
and feel better.
yeah,
In that way, you're going to be able to handle what other things you've got anyway.
Yeah,
So if you
right.
have got pain through fibromyalgia or whatever, if you've had this treatment,
yeah.
it's going to make you feel better
That's
and
right.
more able to deal with.
That's right. That's right. So it's almost always, I can hardly ever think of a situation where it's a negative.
Not to be beneficial.
That's right. Mhm. Look at this now. Remember how this range of motion? Well, look, it's starting to really improve. Okay, so, and this one, look at that. That was the one that had almost no range of motion. Okay, so now, I still want to do a bit more on this one, but I want to just have a quick go at this one and his little finger and then start to follow the whole arm up, and we'll see how that affects his jaw. So I let him just breathe and absorb that.